For sale is my Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. I bought her new from my local Triumph dealership in June 2020. So she is 4 years new. A wonderful bike packed with any amount of gizmos. She has ABS cornering, traction control, automatic suspension adjustment. Press a button on the screen and it will raise or lower your preload. Under the back seat is a place for your mobile phone. I bought her with my private plate on. When it's sold, I will re-register it and it will have a 2020 plate on it. The accessories I put on are the upper and the lower crash bars. The fog lamps have been raised to be attached to the crash bars. I've installed 124 decibel twin horns. I've installed front and rear dash cams, that's the front one. The other twin horn. The dash cam controls are here. This is a TomTom mount. I've installed the top of the range Scott order, the £240 one, the electric one, so it never, once it's adjusted, which it is, it never needs to be adjusted again. As an extra, there's this embellishment here on the tank. I'll show you the luggage later, but on the top box as an extra is the backrest for the pillion. On the front mudguard, I've installed an extender, and on the rear I've taken off the standard mudguard and put on this hugger to protect your back and the underside of the bike from muck and gubbins. I've also installed an electric point for the what do you call it, for the Optimate for charging the bike, so that just goes on there. It's got heated rear seat, heated front seat, that's the front seat control. The headlamp control, because you've got a riding light if you choose to put it on. The riding light is this shape here, or you can flick the switch the other way and you have your dip and your high beams. The rear dash cam is tucked away under the top box at the back. It's quite discreet there. Wonderful, nobody gets away with anything. She has a center stand, which is very, very easy to put on. And I'm 5'9.5" or something. When I sit on the bike, both my feet touch the ground both sides. Everybody and their uncle tells me to sell the accessories separately because I'll get more money for them. But I can't be bothered, so I'm offering the bike for sale together with the tank bag, with this very large port side pannier, the top box, which takes 2 helmets, or as I usually ride alone, 1 helmet and cleaning stuff and that, and a slightly slimmer box on the other side, because obviously it's got to allow for the exhaust. This bike is serviced up to date. At 22,500 miles, she had front and rear brake pads. She also had a new chain and sprockets. In June 24, she had a new battery. And in July 24, she had new Anarchy Adventure tires. And in fact, they're so new that there's still the moldings on the sides. Oh, not so much on the rear. Oh, you can, yes, you can see them over there, can't you? So there we are. So I've been looking after the bike, and I've done those things, the servicing, obviously the MOT, which was in June, and the tyres and that, because I want the bike to be saleable. I want it to be attractive, and so I've done all I can. There's a few stickers on it, which of course I can remove, as they won't be of interest to you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer. I don't know whether you may be interested in the screen or not and the things it does, but on the right hand side is a home screen button. Press the home button and you go into various modes, or you can press the modes button here. See the M where my thumb is? That's the modes button, so you can press that one if you just want to go into riding modes. So I'll just go back to home. If I press the modes button, it takes you straight into your modes, and with this toggle switch here, I can toggle, sorry, toggle switch, that was the indicators. With the toggle switch here, I can toggle into rain. I can set up my own rider settings, off-road, sport mode, or road mode. So let's go into sport, and let's just press this little button in, and it has selected sport, which you can see down here. If I press the home button again and go to bike setup, you'll see I've got the Triumph something assist, which I have enabled. I forget what the assist is, somebody will know out there. Indicators, you can just have them to go, manual, so manually put it off, or auto basic, where it just goes off by itself. But the auto advanced, you can flick it quickly and it'll flash 3 times, or you can hold it for a second and it will flash for, is it 30 seconds or so many meters, whichever is arrived at first. So there's all that. Traction control, enabled or disabled. It goes off automatically, I think, with off-road. Service, it's due in 195 days. It says in April next year. That's because the service was done a few days early, because I had to go off on a tour. TES, various modes, on-road setting, off-road setting, so you can set the modes yourself. I've enabled there. On-road setting, comfort level look, or sport level, I've got it on normal. Off-road setting, I've got it on normal, but obviously you can make it as comfortable as you wish. What else have we got here? Okay, let's just go back. Then there's the trips, or I think trips is pretty self-explanatory. Trip 1 and trip 2, I won't go into those. The display setup, you can choose your color. I've chosen blue look, but you can choose your yellow. No, I'm gonna I'm going to go back to blue. You can choose a variety of colours. You can choose your brightness. Oops, hang on. Choose your brightness by, oh, I've done it again. Choose your brightness by controlling it with this toggle switch here, look. Oh, and the brightness low, similarly you can control it. What trays you want visible, and I think I've selected them all, haven't I, so that they come up on the screen. Trips, fuel set status, TPS, tire pressure management system, service interval, colour, style, contrast. I think I've selected them all. There's a gear shift indicator, which I've disabled. It's got a quick shifter, so once you're moving you don't need to use the clutch anymore. Select your language. I tried to get Cornish without success, but I've selected English. Units, very useful for when you go abroad. You can change it to kilometers. You can change it to, if you went to the USA, you can change it to Fahrenheit instead of centigrade. Obviously you need to adjust your clock twice a year when the clocks go backwards or forwards. I won't go through that, it's pretty self-explanatory. The date is pretty self-explanatory as well. Today's the 3rd of October 2024. There we are, that's that little lot. Bluetooth setup, you set it up to your sat-nav, set it up to your helmet. You can reset to defaults. There we are, so it does an awful lot. Just press the home button, go back to home. It does an awful lot, and she's an absolutely lovely bike. There's never been a time when she hasn't started first time, and I've never been involved in an incident on this bike. And as I've already mentioned, I bought it from the Triumph dealership, brand new. So there she is. Oh, I should have told you the mileage. The mileage is, it's going to come up on the screen here. Give it a moment. 26,250 miles, and just over 4 years old. Now I run the risk of making you think it's ever so complicated, or on the other hand boring you to death, but none of this is complicated because once it's set up, it's set up. But listen, this is the revs, so when your engine's on there's your rev counter. I'm flicking this toggle switch like this. Up we go. The next one up is different styles. I've selected style 3, but there are 4 different styles as you can see. This is the contrast, high contrast, auto or low. TPMS, that's your tyre pressure management system. So while you're riding along, you can check your tyre pressures. If they go, one or more tyres goes dangerously low, it will come up on the screen as an alert. Never happened to me. Your fuel status, range, average, current. Your trips, trip 1. Your preload I mentioned, you can see that it's set on rider mode only here on the left. But if I go across, there it's got rider with pillion, there it's got rider with luggage, and there it's rider with luggage with pillion. And you just, when you've got what you want, you just press this little button here and it selects it and stores it for you. So I'm going to go back to rider only. Damping, comfort, normal, sport. I've got it pretty much on normal. SMS, that's your mobile phone, your short messaging service, text messages. Your call history, if you choose to select your telephone and connect it to your helmet, which I actually choose not to, so I don't want distractions while I'm riding. This is the onboard GPS, the Triumph. I couldn't remember what it was earlier on, but it's It's the Triumph sort of navigation app. I forget exactly what it's called. And back to tachometer again. So that's a little run around the different settings on your toggle switch on the Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. I mentioned there's never been a time that it hasn't started first time, and that is absolutely the case. And I have to put the phone down, I think, to pull in the clutch. Oh, perhaps I won't. And press the starter button. Very lovely bike indeed.